Hello and welcome to That's Football. It's the Real Madrid versus Tottenham live stream. A little bit late, but the game has just started. It is 0-0, and very interestingly, just before we get into the detail, Spurs starting with two up front with Llorente and Kane, which I think is quite interesting. Don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I am interested in that. Let me get the live comments up for you. Hope everybody's doing all right. Remember to drop us a like and a share and subscribe if you're new. Live comments are up and running as well. Currently 0-0 because it's only just kicked off. We'll get everything else up and running up very soon as well. But hello Mark, says Mladin. Welcome, welcome, says Carmichael. Hi Mark, says Pancash, as does Callum. Hey, and here we go. Hello and welcome to That's Football, the generic fan channel where you can have your say and have a bit of banter. That's Matthew McFadden. They're Xander's words, they're not mine. I don't know where he reads that, what script he makes up with that. But hello and welcome. We are watching the best game in Europe tonight, which is Real Madrid versus Spurs, and big test, Premier League against La Liga. So obviously, you know, I do like Real Madrid, I like Ronaldo, but my loyalty is with Spurs tonight. I think Spurs are a very inoffensive, and they play the way that football. I like Pochettino as well, so I hope Spurs can pull something out of the bag tonight. I really do. It's going to be difficult, but let's see what happens. Corey's here with us as well, as is M and R. I hope you're all doing well. Footballing, you know, that's what That's Football's all about, isn't it, really? We do the watch-alongs on the games that most people are going to watch, and we're certainly, I'm a neutral for this. I'm sure a lot of you are as well. But yeah, looking forward to it. And I think Spurs, remember Spurs against Dortmund? We actually did that a few weeks ago at Wembley. And Ronaldo just caught offside there from a through ball from Modric against his former club. Remember, is what I was going to say. Remember Spurs at Wembley against Dortmund a few weeks ago, whereby they were the home team, but they played quite defensive. And I think tonight they may well do the same. Well, they obviously are going to do the same. I don't think there can be any argument right now that Real Madrid are the best team in the world, and they're going to have a good old test tonight, that's for sure. But it's Spurs on attack at the moment with Eriksen. As I said, Llorente and Kane playing in the same team, which I think is very brave of. And Llorente is in here, and he's earned a corner. Now he's given a goal kick. He turned his man in the box, but it was a tight angle, and it's gone off him for a goal kick. But Llorente, obviously very well known in Spain, very well known in England as well. He scored a lot of goals for Swansea, and maybe that's what Pochettino's plan is. In relation to the Champions League and where it stands, Spurs have won 2 from 2, Real Madrid have won 2 from 2, and if Spurs can get, I think if Spurs can get a point from the next 2 games against Real Madrid, that will put them pretty much in pole position. Remember, if Spurs were to lose the next 2 games, they'd still be on 6 points, but there's a good chance Dortmund will win their next 2 to put them on 6 points, and then Spurs have still got to go to Dortmund. So Spurs could do with picking up something, although it's very difficult. I agree. They could do with picking something up against Madrid. And what a night it would be if we witnessed them doing it here tonight. Who knows? Who knows? Cross coming in from Real Madrid. And Ronaldo's just hit the post. And Benzema hits it wide. Oh, Ronaldo is not happy. Cut back cross. Ronaldo around the penalty box. Heads it. Beats the keeper. All ends up. Hits the post. Rolls out to Benzema around the same space, and he misses it. And Ronaldo's not happy. I don't know whether Ronaldo's not happy with himself or he's not happy with Benzema, but cut back cross, header by Ronaldo, hits the post, and Benzema should follow it up. I think looking at it, Ronaldo's probably disappointed with himself, but he's probably more disappointed with Benzema because a player of his quality should not be missing it. Should not be missing it. So. Not the start Spurs wanted. Who are we all supporting tonight? I'm supporting Spurs. I'm going to be honest. I want Spurs to win it. You know, a bit of Premier League loyalty. But who are you supporting tonight? Let us all know. It's all right. I was a little bit late because I had to pop out and do something. So I'm just updating things whilst watching the game, whilst reading your comments. And Ronaldo, no, Good work off the line there by Lloris. I'll get there in the end. Live. Okay, that's done. Let's come back to you lot. So, 0-0. Very good chance for Real Madrid. Let's be honest about it. They probably should be 1-0 up. And they're not 1-0 up at the moment. But Ronaldo is getting a lot of space against Spurs at the moment. Cut back cross again. Spurs definitely, I would say, on the ropes at the moment. Matthew McFadden says, Benzema misses a great chance. In other news, water is wet. Thanks for the comments and thanks for the contribution, Matthew, through the super chat option. You can do that through the bottom if you like. Plenty of people watching at the moment. What target shall we set tonight? I'd like to get up to 18,500 subscribers. If you are new to That's Football, please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner, That's Football. Relatively new channel. It is the channel for all football fans to come together and discuss football. You don't have to be a Spurs or Madrid fan. Most of us tonight won't be. We're just watching what is the best game in Europe tonight, and that's what That's Football's all about. We've got our Premier League preview on a Thursday night live at 8:30. We do a few watch-alongs, normally a couple a week, and yeah, it's just a community. If you love football, get involved with it. Subscribe and get involved. But hopefully Spurs are going to turn this game around in a little bit. We don't want it to... I don't want them to get pummeled. I want to see a good game of football. I mean, I'm not massively... You know, I'm not going to cry if Spurs lose. My preference is Spurs win, but I want to see a good game. Real Madrid. Whoa, what have we done? What have we done? Yeah, Ronaldo not happy. Lot of space in that Spurs defence would be my worry if I was Pochettino. But Real Madrid are such a good team. I absolutely find it quite funny actually that there are people out there who think Man City are going to dominate Europe. Yeah, because English clubs have dominated Europe in the last few years, haven't they? They really have. Real Madrid are going for 3 in a row. I think they've got a fantastic set of players, and I think that they're going to give it a good go again. They started the season off slow, but they started it off slow last year. And Spurs at the moment look a bit ragged. They just need to hang in there a little bit. We will be keeping you up to date with what's going on in the rest of Europe. Feyenoord are 1-0 up against Shakhtar Donetsk, and Liverpool have taken an early lead against Maribor with Firmino scoring. In the context of Liverpool's group, that would be quite good for them. Maribor are currently bottom. Spartak Moscow possibly their biggest rival, but they've got them at Anfield. I think Sevilla and Liverpool should get through that group quite comfortably. Manchester City Napoli is quite interesting. Napoli obviously top in Serie A, Man City top in the Premier League. So, you know, tonight we've got England against Spain. We've got Italy versus England in the Man City game, and we'll keep an eye on Dortmund versus Apple Nicosia. And for the purist, we're probably not going to get to see much of it, but for the group of death, Leipzig, Monaco, Porto and Besiktas is an interesting one. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. It's 0-0 in most games at the moment. So it'd be interesting if Moscow were to beat Sevilla, by the way. That would put a little bit of pressure on them. Alderweireld just blasted it out for a free kick there. Kieran Byrne, that's a really odd question to ask. If you want to expand why you're asking that, that's fine, but all I can say is yes. And come on Spurs, says Larry on Picks 1-4. And Man City look unstoppable right now. They score goals for fun. Yeah, wait till they play United. Wait till Mourinho shows the rest of the Premier League how to deal with Man City. I can't believe how open teams play against Man City at the moment, but that's not what we're watching. Agent Paul, how are you? Raheem Sterling has scored for Man City, says the Formals line. We're just 10 minutes in at the moment. I will get that clock up and running when I have a minute, but Spurs are on the attack at the moment. Well, briefly on the attack, it's all Real Madrid at the moment. I am going to do the timer now for you, pal. Don't worry about that. But Real Madrid looking good. Very, very good at the moment. And they're on the attack down the left again. Cross comes in. Ronaldo's up with the header back, and Eriksen will clear it. So an uncomfortable start for Spurs. They tend to do quite well away from home, those Spurs. But at the moment, there's just a lot of space. And it's interesting how they've played Llorente. I didn't see that coming at all. And I'm quite impressed by it, if I'm totally honest. Modric slips Ronaldo in. He is in. Oh, he skinned somebody. And then he slipped and did himself. But I think he's going to get up. I don't want to see him doing any weird things like hurting himself. And let me now get you up the timer. He says. Where is it? Oh, come on. You're pain in the backside. There we go. Timer's there below the score for you. So we're 11 minutes and 22 seconds in. It's 0-0. And I want to just have a quick look at something as well. Look, it's all going on. The way it's going at the moment, people wanting updates, it's all Real Madrid at the moment. Zach's on the comments now. Let me sort Zach out. Zach, if you are on the comments, I'll sort out what we were on about. Be nice to sort that out. I can't actually see him. Spurs just down the right wing at the moment, looking to us. I mean, it is an odd one from Pochettino. He's just a very good manager, but it is an odd one in the sense that Kane and Llorente aren't the quickest, and Ramos and Varane are. So, and to really get the best out of them, you need to be up high in the Real Madrid half, and I don't know that we'll see a lot of that. But he's a good manager. He's a good manager. It's 2-0 to Liverpool. They're 2-0 up with Coutinho scoring. Obviously scoring all the goals they couldn't score against the poor United side at the weekend. City are 1-0 up as well. So English clubs doing quite well in Europe at the moment. And Real Madrid, Tottenham. Lineups, people are saying, what are the lineups? So you've got Navas in goal, Hakimi, Varane, Ramos, Marcelo, Cruz, Casemiro, Modric. For me, the best midfield three in Europe, in the world. And then Isco, Benzema, Ronaldo. Obviously no Bale available because of his injury. Carvajal obviously had that heart condition that could end his career very sadly, but he played, last time I saw Real Madrid against Dortmund, he was very, very good. So they've got Hakimi playing today, which would be interesting to keep an eye on him. And then Spurs have got Lloris, Aurier, Sanchez, Dyer, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Sissoko, Harry Winks, big game for Harry Winks, and Eriksen, Llorente and Kane. Obviously no Dele Alli again, which is a big, big loss for Spurs. I mean, it is a loss for Spurs. Modric just caught offside there. Danny Rose on the bench for Spurs. Nice of them to have him back. And thanks. But quite a weak bench from a Spurs point of view, really, and it does show you the lack of depth, really. Walker, Peters, Foyth, Vorm's on there, Trippier, Son, Giorgio. They miss Dele Alli, don't they? And obviously Wanyama is a big player for them. So Spurs have got a good couple of their really good players out. I mean, Real Madrid obviously got Bale out, but it's hard. And it's a big game for Harry Winks. Really is. See what he can do in a game like this. We did the watch-along for the England game, didn't we, in the summer, in the international break. And England desperately need somebody to come through from the midfield and do a job for them. And Winks has just changed the direction quite well there. I sort of not seen loads of him. I'm not going to say I've seen loads of him, but he could well be, you know, that sort of Jack Wilshere sort of player that stays fit. So, yeah, interesting. we're doing all right for subscribers. If you are new to That's Football, make sure you do click the subscribe and get involved. It's a generic football fan channel for all fans to get involved, and do get involved on the live comments if you're watching live, and you know, join the debate with each other. Philippe wants his Real Madrid to win. What's a watch along? Kieran, don't worry about it. It's all sorted. We're running it much the same as the United stand, which is also all sorted. But thanks for the concern. What was I going to say? We were talking about That's Football, weren't we? Yeah, get involved in the community and have your say. Spurs have their work cut out for them, says Andrew Kay. Spurs tend to bottle in Europe, and against one of the best clubs doesn't help. Fionn says that Liverpool are going to absolutely destroy Maribor. Don't know much about Maribor, to be honest, but they are the whipping boys. And Sushas, why do you think I've barely commented? So busy wielding mine. Zach was meant to be on George, and he's not turned up. But I'll keep an eye out for him. We've had 101 dislikes because people don't grasp what a watch along is. So let me just very quickly tell you, there's nothing going on in the game too much at the moment. Spurs are just going to clear it for a throw-in. So a watch along is not a way of watching the football match. We will keep you updated with what's going on, but obviously we don't have the rights to show you the game, so we can't do that. So what a lot of people will do, which is why we have our timer up, is they will watch the game, or however they do it. They'll turn the audio off, and they'll listen to us watching it with loads of other plan. Ronaldo just wide. He's going to get frustrated today. He's just hit it wide. It was a good effort. Two players in front of him did well to work the shot, but it just went wide. So yeah, a watch along is where you watch it with what we've got about 1,000 people watching at the moment with the live comments, and we just pick games that we all want to watch and get involved with together. You know what? Modern commentary is very, very dull and boring and scripted these days. So yeah, if you are watching it, just sync in with our timer. We're 17 minutes and 14 seconds in. Turn your audio off and watch a game with 1,000 people and get involved. If you're not watching, we'll keep you updated with what's going on. But don't forget, That's Football's not just about watch-alongs. We will be doing a lot of them, but we've got other shows as well. Football debates, call-ins. Xander will be back with a call-in very, very soon. Spurs are just on the attack here with Harry Kane. He's trying to do too much. Didn't get a free kick. Probably was a free kick, but Winks retaining possession. Cross comes in. They're obviously trying to work positions where they can put a cross into the box. And Aurier has worked a well one by letting it go for a corner. It's 3-0 to Liverpool with Salah, which is quite funny, actually. I'm sure Liverpool fans will be very, very happy with the fact that it's 3-0 to them. But ultimately, you blew it against United at the weekend. And I'm sure you would have just taken one of those goals. But interestingly enough, not a lot of people might know this, but Liverpool are away at Spurs on Sunday afternoon, which I think is well worth a watch along. I don't know what you lot think, but I think that's well worth a watch along. I think it's going to be a cracking game. And Harry Kane, as we were talking about that, the cross came in, and you can definitely see why Pochettino is looking to use that height, because Real Madrid awful there. Harry Kane free header, headed it down into the ground, and it bounced too far before the goalkeeper. He got a lot of power into it, but it pounded into the ground and gave the keeper long enough to react to it. So tipped it over the bar for another corner, this time from Eriksen. But obviously that's Real Madrid, sorry, that's Spurs' tactic here, is to use their height, of which they have plenty of it. Dyer, Alderweireld, to name a few, Vertonghen, Harry Kane, Llorente, and another header one, and it's over the bar. And I think Spurs will be quite disappointed with that, because that is where their it was Alderweireld over the bar that time. That is where their strength lies. A lot of height today, and I think Harry Kane should do better from there. Having said that, he gets up really well, sort of between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box, heads it down into the ground, and I think if it's just a metre further forward where it hits the ground, the keeper won't have time to react. So, good chance. Still the best chances are falling. Oh, Harry Kane's done well here. He's got in well. Cross comes in. Llorente. I think he should have given a penalty there, right in front of the third man. And you just wonder whether that should have been a penalty to Spurs. Cross came in from Harry Kane along the ground, and there was some sort of challenge on Llorente in the second phase. The referee looks like a Real Madrid banker, and let's have a look. Llorente goes for it, gets the ball, penalty. Absolute stonewall penalty. Shocking tackle by Casemiro. Stonewall for me, that. This is what you're up against. I mean, a lot of people say, why do Barcelona and Real Madrid dominate European football? And to be honest, they've got a lot of referees in their pockets through reputation. I mean, I saw a challenge on Harry Kane a couple of minutes before that was a free kick. He just waved it on. But that's a penalty, and that's what disgraceful, really. If that's in the other box, he'd definitely give it. Lucas Taylor says, as a United fan, I would take Spurs manager over Jose any day. Ref is rubbish, says Corey JT. Agent Paul paid ref. And any corner would have been a goal by Kane's header, says Jimmy Cricket. Spurs are playing well, to be fair. They're growing into the game. And Gina Riley says penalty ref. I thought it was. I thought it was a penalty, Gina. City are 2-0 up against Napoli. Sterling and Jesus 2-0. The Man City bandwagon will continue. The loving, and but this is the game to watch. At the moment. Still 0-0. Good for Spurs at the moment. Very good result for Spurs. $22 gone. Real Madrid on the attack. Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo's looked very sharp tonight. And another corner coming in here. Corner for Real Madrid. Ronaldo getting up and cleared. Well overhit that corner. Well, I think if you're a Spurs fan at the moment, you must be pretty pleased with what's going on. On the break here, Spurs, and they've got an overlap. Oh, Ericsson should have anticipated that a little bit better. He's done well. That should have been a foul. Hit it. Winks. Hit it. Oh, just curled it wide. It's quite a stretch though. Been a good game. Very good game. And I think it's, in fairness to Spurs, you know, they are missing a couple of really good players for them. Wanyama's obviously a long-term one, but Dele Alli. And the way young Winks is playing in a massive game in the Bernabeu, I'd be very, very pleased with him if I was a Spurs fan. From an England point of view, it's quite exciting. Early days in his career, but Spurs are starting to find a little bit of possession. There's no doubting that Real Madrid probably should be ahead. They have that great chance, but Harry Kane had a good chance as well. And the last thing Real Madrid... Oh, see, a soft foul given away again. The ref's shocking. You know, Real Madrid fans are probably quite used to it, but he's absolutely shocking, this ref. Mark, what are your thoughts on World Cup playoff draw? So, correct me if I'm wrong. So, Ireland, Denmark, and Northern Ireland, Switzerland. Italy, Sweden's obviously very, very interesting. We're already missing quite a few big teams from this World Cup. No Holland, no USA. And obviously no Italy or Sweden will be there, and no either Denmark or Ireland won't be there. Some interesting games. I hope both the Irish clubs get through, obviously. Typical Savage says I think Madrid will win 2-1, and World Cup playoffs are... Oh, we've got... Yeah, Sweden, Italy, yeah, okay. Shakhtar Donetsk have equalised versus Feyenoord. Spurs will get out of the group, says Happy Bunny. I think they'll do very well to get out of the group. Because I think Dortmund are going to win the next 2 games, and then it's a bit of pressure on Spurs as to what they do against Real Madrid. Junior says, hello idiots, please show the game. It's all about perception who's the idiot when it says Watchalong. Cross comes in. Harry Kane has scored for Spurs. 1-0. 1-0 to Spurs. And that is exactly what Spurs have been trying to do. They're putting crosses in from the wide position. It's Aurier with the cross. And it's either a piece of brilliance by Harry Kane how he flicks in, or a big chunk of luck. But it's a ground cross. It's a double square cross in FIFA 18. And it's a medium sort of height. And Harry Kane gets there ahead of the defender, and there's some sort of flick. And we've not been shown it again yet because Real Madrid are probably silking, but it's Aurier with the cross. He can put a decent cross in. I think it goes in off the defender. It's nothing to do with Harry Kane. It looks like it goes in off Varane. Or is it Varane? It's hard to tell. Show us it again. I think it goes in off Varane. Yeah, it's off Varane, isn't it? I was right the first time. There's no connection from Harry Kane. Very good point from That's Simply Football saying you've called Harry Kane a big game bottler. Called Lukaku a big game bottler as well, but this season they're both 24 years of age. Of course they can progress. I mean, Harry Kane's auditioning for a move to Real Madrid right here, right now, isn't he, at the moment? When you think of Harry Kane and what he could probably do up front with Ronaldo as opposed to Benzema. Yeah, but 1-0 to Spurs. I need to update score. But very, very good goal. And from a Spurs perspective, I mean, it was a bit lucky, but it's put them in the lead. And it makes, in the context of this game, if you're a neutral, it makes it very, very exciting because Real Madrid, good chances early on, but Spurs have started to come back into it. Aurier's just hit one wide there, and the Real Madrid fans will be booing the heroes very, very soon, but it makes it very, very interesting from our point of view. Sean Mejia says, Mark, say my name, I'm Belgian, and apologise for Fellaini then. I'm a United fan, but Spurs are a good team, but I think Madrid will still win, says Typical Savage. Oh, that's perfect for us. I mean, there's another corner here for Spurs. The last couple of corners, they've won them. Imagine if they got on the end of this and made it 2-0. But from a football, we chose this game. We could have chosen the City game, and I'm glad we chose this game because it's the bigger one. And I'm glad it's 1-0 to Spurs because I think it's going to be a very interesting game to watch now because you would expect Real Madrid to come back into it. Joe just bigging up Aurier. United were linked to him. Good player. Yeah, it's definitely nothing to do with Harry Kane, that goal. It's just off Varane. Well, I say nothing to do with him. He's sort of a dumb idiot, and it's gone in off Varane. He'll be looking to make an amends, and very impressed with Spurs so far. They'll love the fact they've got the goal, obviously, but it just means that 15 minutes to half time be an effort. You know, you take it into chunks, don't you? And if they can just get to half time at 1-0, it would be a big boost for them. But Spurs on the break again now. They've got a 2v2 position. They're going to have more than a 2v2 position. This could be 3 if they get it right. Eriksen, oh, he'll be furious with himself. Absolutely furious. They actually ended up with a 3v2. And Eriksen just hold on for it for too long. But they have to work hard to get back now, Spurs, and get into position. Ronaldo's out on the right. Bit of space. Into the box. Isco. Oh, good save, Lloris. Got the shot in. And he was quite close to goal when he had it. Real Gamer says Real Madrid are going to win. Sevilla have equalised. Kieran Byrne, thoughts on Mike Ashley selling Newcastle? Don't really have much thought on it, really. He's just one of many poor owners of Premier League clubs. I mean, look at Leicester. In fact, anybody who was watching my video I did on That's Football a few weeks ago, people were saying, who do you think could be the next manager to get sacked? Most people were saying Bilic. I said Shakespeare at Leicester, and I was right, wasn't I? And part of the reason I went for that is because their owners are atrocious. Ronaldo's getting into something here with a yellow card on Vertonghen. I don't know what happened there. He's had a yellow card though, so he's obviously been adjudged to have done something, Ronaldo. He looks on edge tonight, Ronaldo. He does look very on edge. Wasn't much in it, to be fair to Ronaldo, that. AJ now says that Madrid should be playing Asensio over Isco. I think they will see him at some point. Yeah, just back to Leicester have got awful managers. I mean, they sacked Ranieri, who won them the Premier League. And when will Leicester ever win the Premier League again? You know, and they sacked him the season after, and he would have kept them up. So there's just no way Shakespeare was ever going to survive long when they're not near the top, unless the owners are just idiotic. But there's many idiot owners out there. Ronaldo into the penalty box. Good defending by Alderweireld, because if he'd left his foot in there, I think Ronaldo was ready to go down. Spurs just need to keep their head a little bit here. They're going to have to work really hard, but they've got that goal that they may not have expected to be going 1-0 up in this game. And they just need to keep their heads a bit here now, because this next 10 minutes, like I say, till half time will really dictate what they come out of this. And I've no doubt Spurs would be absolutely ecstatic with a point from this game. And at the moment, they're in a position where they could take all 3. Yes, George Carl, I would agree with you. Never doubt Ronaldo. I can see Ronaldo looks good tonight, but he looks angry as well. He's on a yellow card now, so he needs to be a little bit careful. Spurs will certainly see that as an opportunity. But for me, Spurs are going to set up in both these next 2 games, because it's the next Champions League week, which is 2 weeks' time. It's Real Madrid at Wembley, so they're back-to-back these fixtures. And Spurs are going to have to approach it in the same way, because Spurs don't get, if you're not aware of the Premier League at the moment, Spurs play their games at Wembley. So Spurs don't really get home games at the moment, because Wembley is like a very good leveller, because people relish it. It's a big pitch, and they've already dropped points to teams they expect to be beating this season. But Marcelo into the box, side netting. Good little interchange there. So Spurs will probably see this Bernabeu game on a level with the one at Wembley next week, because Real Madrid aren't going to change the way they play. Irish fans talking about man-marking Eriksen for Denmark already. Of course, if the unthinkable happened and Real Madrid did lose tonight, it would put a lot of pressure on them against Spurs at Wembley, because like I say, I expect Dortmund will win the next 2 games and get themselves up to 6 points, which means this group won't be dead. Although Dortmund have got to come to the Bernabeu. And what I've seen of Dortmund this year, good footballing side, but they don't seem to have, which is odd with Aubameyang, they don't seem to be clinical enough for me. Was it a nice goal, says Carol Under? It was a good worked goal. Aurier with the low cross, but Harry Kane sort of went to hit it and missed and sort of dummied it, and then Varane's right next to him and sort of inadvertently puts it into his own goal. Own goal for Varane, Dennis Storgard. What team do I support, says the Life of Tyler TV. I support Manchester United. I've got my own YouTube channel called The United Stand, but this channel, That's Football, is all about, you know, I watch a lot of football, as I'm sure a lot of you do, so it's a generic channel, so don't feel that, well, no, actually do have your loyalties and express your loyalties in the live comments, but I will be just giving my opinion on it. And Real Madrid, as you would expect, having a lot of the ball at the moment, still 10 minutes to half time. It's going to be a long game for Spurs fans, but Eriksen's playing very well. In fact, Eriksen's playing so well, he sort of strikes me soft red card against Eriksen there. Eriksen's having the sort of performance that would probably make Real Madrid want to sign him. Spurs v Liverpool at the weekend is a brilliant game, and we'll probably do a watch along for that on Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. I think it's the pick of the game at the weekend. Oh, good block, and it was Isco trying to get a shot away. AJ Nell, you're right, the United Stand isn't my channel, it came out wrong. But you know what I mean, I'm on the United Stand. Cross comes in, Benzema again. If he was onside, that's a sitter. He's missed 2 in this game. Unmarked, 6-yard box, glanced it wide with very little contact from the Modric cross. And he's not the most clinical, is he? Abanaf says, if Angel Gomez is so good, why doesn't he start for England under 17s? Good question. Does anyone know? Shorty21 says, that's terrible by Benzema, 2 misses, but Ronaldo's in down the left here. If Real Madrid get a goal before half time, I think it just kills, obviously, what Spurs have done, and you'd fancy Real Madrid in the second half. But I think for the interest of the excitement of the game, and it's been a good game, I really sort of hope Spurs can get to half time, because it will make it set it up perfectly for the second half. But it's all Real Madrid at the moment. And as I said, the way Spurs have approached this game with Llorente and Kane in the same team, I think it's very interesting. Another soft free kick by the referee given away. I am Jonesy. Do you agree with few people that Kevin De Bruyne is the best in the Premier League at the moment? He probably is the most informed player in the Premier League at the moment. But it's early days. It's early days, isn't it? I really hope that at some point somebody figures out how to beat Manchester City, because I don't actually think it's that hard. I just think teams come out and play against them, and it must be a joy. Oh, just a bit high for Benzema, that. Ramos winning the first header. Let's keep you updated with what's going on. I mean, we talk about Dortmund taking advantage. They are actually 0-0 in Apel Nicosia at the moment, which would be a great result for Spurs. Napoli losing 2-0 to City. Liverpool 3-0 up against Maribor. Feyenoord and Shakhtar 1-1. Spartak Moscow and Sevilla 1-1. Monaco Besiktas 1-1. RP Leipzig and Porto 1-1. So lots of goals across the European stage tonight. And but I still stand by, we are watching the best game. 1-0 between Spurs and Real Madrid at the moment. And he's given a free kick to Spurs. God knows why he's done that. He's not meant to be doing that, the ref. Been very pro Real Madrid so far. Oh, I've just noticed we've hit 18,500 subscribers, which is fantastic. Thanks for everybody who has subscribed and joined the channel. As I said, relatively new channel. We are building up the content on it. We normally do a couple of watch-alongs a week, and we try to pick the big games so that, you know, the games that everybody's watching, so we can share it and watch it together. We've got Skype-in shows where you can Skype in and have your say on anything in football that's bothering you at the moment. We've got our Premier League preview programme on Thursday night at 8:30, where we preview all the weekend's fixtures. And we will be building out more shows over the coming months. working towards the World Cup. So get involved, tell all your friends about it, subscribe, get commenting, get liking, and give us your opinions. Dammy says the atmosphere at Madrid is crap. Well, Sander, who's on this channel with me, is actually at the game tonight. He's going to do a vlog for us, so it could be a memorable one. Another cross, another corner from Spurs. I think that's their best outlet, really. And Harry Kane didn't miss a good chance. He had a good header, that it just hit the ground a little bit too early. But I mean, Real Madrid are on another level to Spurs, let's be honest. But at the moment, they're doing really well, Spurs. What's my thoughts on the atmosphere of Parkhead, says Venom Gods. The Celtic is obviously Parkhead. I've never been there, mate, but I think it is obviously one of the best atmospheres in Britain. Now, I think the Anfield one used to be really, really rocking, especially on a European night. But I looked at, obviously was watching the United Liverpool game at the weekend, and I remember it last season as well. And to say that's their biggest game in the Premier League season, how is he not giving a free kick to Aurier there? The Liverpool atmosphere seems to have disappeared a lot. I mean, granted, the United one isn't as good as it used to be, but that's the modern phenomenon of football. This should be 2. It should be 1. And he's given a penalty to Spurs. What a surprise. It is a penalty, but it's no different to the one. It was a penalty, definitely. I'm not saying it wasn't, but so was the Spurs one. So Ronaldo steps up. It's probably going to be 1-1 before half time, which is very disappointing. I hope he misses. I love Ronaldo, but I hope he misses because Spurs had a penalty as well and it wasn't given. And I think this referee's been really, really poor. He's obviously on the payroll, but I don't think Ronaldo will miss this. And he doesn't, and it's 1-1. And the Real Madrid stat padder has another goal for his Champions League records. Penalty. Jimmy Cricket, you don't look pleased. I don't look. I really like Ronaldo. Everybody knows I prefer Ronaldo to Messi, but it's the referee. I don't know what you lot think, but the referee for me is a cheat. It was a penalty for Real Madrid. I'm not saying it wasn't. It was a penalty, but Spurs had one 20 minutes ago, which was just as bad a tackle. He never even looked twice at it. First opportunity for Real Madrid. Yeah, it's a penalty. Aurier is an idiot, says Emmanuel. Well, Aurier has equalled it out, hasn't he? He got the assist on the goal with a very good cross, and now he's got the assist on the goal for Real Madrid with a stupid tackle. But to be honest, if he doesn't make the tackle, I think Kroos was about to bury it. Matthew McFadden's made another contribution. He says, I'm actually surprised the referee can run about so much with that fat wad of cash from Real Madrid in his pocket. He hasn't been great, has he? Well, 1-1 at half time. I've got to update the score, haven't I? But I'm disappointed by that. I would like to have seen them hang it out a little bit more. But Madrid fans will be pretty happy. I think they'll fancy the momentum in the second half going back towards them now. Spurs are going to have a very difficult half of football. But then again, you know, Spurs have had corners. And they have caught Real Madrid on the break a couple of times. So Spurs just need to get to half time now. Keep their heads. And, you know, they're more than in this game. Let me put the goal on for Real Madrid. 1-1 at the moment. Leipzig have scored a couple of quick goals because they're 3-1 up now against Porto. Dortmund still haven't scored in Apol Nicosia, but Liverpool have scored another goal. Salah's got 2, 4-0 up. Half time. It's half time. Give us your thoughts on that game so far. Some Ajit, for any United fan, says, "Hi Mark, I'm from India and Angel Gomez has looked good in all the time he got here in India in the Under-17 World Cup. Apparently he didn't play today." There we go. I missed it. Who scored for Spurs, says David. It was an own goal. Went in off Varane after a cross from Aurier. Aurier getting a lot of stick because he gave the free kick, the penalty away. But he did put a good cross in for the goal on Spurs, so he's probably equalled it out. Aurier involved in everything at the moment. MUFC Rich says Salah and Mane is the best counter-attack in the league. Should have beat us. Well, Salah didn't. Mane didn't play because he's injured. I imagine Maribor are crap and also don't know how to play against Liverpool. Like most of the Premier League against City at the moment, so many teams are just open. The Life of Tyler says the referee is a WANKA. Some idiots decided to put Scholes and De Bruyne in the same sentence. Yeah, right. De Bruyne's really like Scholes. Aurier is a liability, says Lewis Christian. Have we got any Spurs or Real Madrid fans on, actually? Because your opinions should be heard first. I mean, all those neutrals are sat enjoying it. But Dylan Hogan says the Spurs one wasn't a penalty at all, Mark. To me, it looked like a penalty. It was rash. And he didn't get the ball before the player. So I thought it was a penalty. Did Napoli miss a penalty against City, says Typical Savage? I don't know, but it's 2-2 at the moment. Spurs, Nicky Collis says, wow, Spurs scored against Real Madrid. What's your thoughts on the first half, says Kofi? I think Real Madrid had a very, very good chance early on where Ronaldo hit the post and Benzema missed the sitter. 1 of 2 tonight, actually. So on the balance of play, 1-1's probably about fair because Real Madrid do deserve to be at least level. But Spurs have done what you've got to do against one of the best teams in the world at the moment, and that is they've gone there, they've fought, they've had a game plan, they have had a few corners, and they're in this game at 1-1. So if you are a Spurs fan, I wouldn't be disappointed. It was a penalty. The referee is against you, which he will always be if you're playing Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. And I think Spurs should be very happy. They've still got a massive opportunity to get something out of this game. I think it's perfectly poised for the second half, and I'm really enjoying it. Liam Edmonds says, I hate this nonsense about penalties. Napoli did miss. It was a great save, says Josh E. What do you think United's lineup should be for tomorrow's game, says Jose Castro? I'm not going to talk about United because we are on That's Football. We've turned the timer off. Spurs should have had a penalty, says JFRK093. I agree with you, although some people don't. M&R says Real Madrid are playing with an extra player tonight and he's dressed as a referee. Arsenal or Tottenham, says Yusuf Gaming HD. I prefer Spurs, to be honest, and that's pretty much been throughout my whole life, back to the days when Chrissy Waddle and Clive Allen were playing up front for Spurs. I've always quite liked Spurs, and I do prefer Spurs to Arsenal, I'm sorry. As a City fan, I think our atmosphere is underrated, says Venom Gods. On a good European night, the Etihad can be buzzing. And I hope all 5 English teams proceed to the quarters, says Agni Mitra. I suspect they actually will. I think Liverpool will. I think Spurs have got a really good chance because I don't think Dortmund look that good. City will, United will, and I think Chelsea will as well. So 5 of them will get to the knockout stage. Whether they'll all get to the quarterfinals or not, I don't know. But I think it could be a good year. Balumko says Man City are not convincing. Well, they're 2-0 up. When's the next career mode on FIFA, says Agent Paul. Yeah, apologies. I wanted to do one before. Obviously, definitely, it's going to be Friday. Let me be honest with you. It's going to be Friday night at 9 o'clock. It's half time at the moment. Ronaldo is so good at penalties. Yeah, there's no doubt, isn't he? There's no doubt when Ronaldo steps up, although he has missed them in the past. Jacob says, why so many dislikes? Because people don't understand the concept of a watch-along. A watch-along is where you we are watching the game with you and commenting it as it happens. So people don't really understand it, even though it's in the comments and it's on the screen and it's in the title. Have Spurs approached the game better than United did when United played Real Madrid, says Nabs. Don't remember. Well, you know. James Bowman, have you subscribed to the next manager? I don't know what it is, mate. I don't know what it is. I'm just having a quick look at it now. It looks quite good. Just having a quick look at it. It's nothing to do with me. What I can say is I don't think it will be around for very long. Yeah, he's already had his videos. You cannot put Premier League footage on YouTube. It will get taken down. It's the way of the world, unfortunately. But it looked like quite a decent idea. So I feel sorry for the person who set it up. But such is life. Such is life. Who do I think will get the furthest out of the English clubs in the Champions League? I think it'd be United, City or Chelsea. I don't think it will be Spurs or Liverpool, if I'm honest. But it always depends on the draw, doesn't it? It really does. It really does. When can we get your thoughts on the Mourinho press conferences, Lewis Kristen? Not on here. I'll do something on the United stand at some point. Can Spurs still win, says Caroline Durr? Of course they can. It's 1-1 and, you know, Spurs, you know, Real Madrid are definitely shading it, but Spurs have had opportunities on the break. Very interesting the way they've played Llorente and Kane. To be honest, watching that penalty back again, I think if Aurier doesn't make that tackle, Cruz is going to score. So it's one of those, isn't it? Who will score next, says the life of Tyler? I'd probably lean towards it being Real Madrid. And Dragolist says, I've just seen the score and I'm surprised that Tottenham team is drawing without some of their best players. They're doing very, very well. And George Kyle is spot on. He says the team that gets the furthest out of all the English teams, it depends on the draw. That's going to be the biggest factor, which is obviously why it's always very important to try and win your group, because then you're likely to get an easier draw in the next stage. Can we get updates on the other scores? Of course we can. So at the moment it's 4-0 to Liverpool at half-time in Maribor. Man City are 2-0 up against Napoli, who missed a penalty. Obviously Real Madrid against Spurs 1-1. Spartak Moscow 1-1 with Sevilla, Feyenoord Shakhtar Donetsk 1-1, Monaco Besiktas 1-1, RP Leipzig 3, Porto 2 and Apel Nicosia 0, Dortmund 0, which in the context of this group and game is very important because we expect Dortmund to take 6 points from their 2 fixtures against Apel Nicosia. For me, that is a penalty on Llorente. I can't believe people can't think that. He's got his studs up for one and he's having the player and the ball. It's a penalty and referee should give it, but he's never going to give it in this sort of game. Never going to happen at all. Can I just ask everybody a favour actually? There's a share button under the YouTube video. If you could just click share and it's linked in with your Twitter or your Facebook, that would be really appreciated because we are trying to grow the channel. I think it's got loads of potential. I really want to get the Skype shows up and running so people, you know, I want to be in a situation where at least twice a week we're going live on an evening and you're Skyping in and telling us the things that are bothering you or you want to talk about on football. That's where we want to grow it. And I know we're taking tiny steps with the channel and, you know, sometimes there's, you know, we're trying to get up, we want to get daily content up. At the moment, we're probably getting 3 or 4 videos up a week, but the potential's there with it. And the bigger the channel grows and the more people get involved in it, then the better. I hope English teams do well, says Jose Castro. Tabo says, wake me up before you go. Who needs Bale when you've got Sissoko? Love it. Hello Goldbridge, says Chad. Hello Chad. David Trotter says, I support Spurs and I want us to progress, but I think the draw in this game may be harsh on us. But come on, you Spurs. Aurier is such a liability, it's funny, says Chad. I think Aurier's played very well, to be honest, but he is hot-headed. Typical Savage is already liked and shared. That's really appreciated, mate. Hello, chat, says Chad Sproul. If you are new, remember to subscribe and let us know in the comments, and we'll give you a bit of a shout out as well. Happy to do that. Are you showing the second half? Says Klopp out. We can't show you the game, mate. It's a watch along, so we'll be keeping you updated with what's going on, and that's about as far as we can go. But a watch along is lots of people watching a game, and if you're not able to watch it, we keep you updated. And if you are watching it, just mute your audio and sync in with us. The United stand will be live tomorrow night with a watch along Man United match. Yes, we'll be live at 6:45 with the team news right the way through till full time. And we've also got, if you're not a follower of the United stand, which is a Manchester United fan channel I'm on, we've got an interview with Juan Mata on the United stand going up on Thursday night. Really looking forward to that. I've seen it. Man United Max has subscribed. I hope you've subscribed to the United stand as well. Theon, I've read your comments tonight, you cheeky get. DSDWG, I subscribed. Can I have a shout out? I just started a new YouTube channel. There you go. Hey man, keep the good work going, and we all help to make this channel big, says Viniac. Thanks for that. Spurs are exploiting the space behind Marcelo, Real's primary attacking outlet. The goal came from there. Well spotted, Agni Matra. Hello Madrid from Indonesia, says Parta07. Good, it's good to get some different fans on here, and especially when we're watching Real Madrid Spurs. Ryan Vlogs says he loves the channel. Theon, I'm not reading any more of your comments if you're going to put silly ones up like that. I have read some of your comments. When's the next FIFA career mode? I am doing a FIFA career mode, FIFA 18. I started off on Everton. Didn't have a very good start, but we had a good run from about November to January. We played Manchester United, I beat them, and I went for the job and they gave it me. So I'm only in January. I've gone from Everton to Manchester United. And the next one will be on Friday night at 9 o'clock. So if you want to watch it, it will be live on Friday night at 9 o'clock. What do I think of Isco? Says XM as hers. He's a good player. He's just, there's something about him that just doesn't appeal. I don't really know what it is, but he's a good player. Vincent O'Hara says City are lucky to be ahead. That's good to hear. The bubble will burst at some point. They can't keep doing it every game. Kane Ronaldo would annoy each other too much, says Jonathan Phantom. Ronaldo's not going to be around. Nothing's going to happen to Ronaldo. It better not. He's not going to be around for much longer, and maybe Harry Kane's the future. Abra says the channel is amazing. Keep up. Hala Madrid from Kashmir. Hala Madrid from Indonesia, says Azriel Fee. Can you give us any info about Ericsson? Because Carolyn Durr, he's played very, very well. Very well. Good player. The Irish will need to be careful when they play next month and then playoffs for the World Cup. I think we'll probably do a watch along for one of those. We'll be guided by you. There's 4 games, so we'll put a poll up in a couple of weeks' time as to what games you want us to do. Personally, I think Italy, Sweden, but I know the Irish we're going to probably divide the Irish because Northern Ireland are in one, Republic of Ireland in the other. Dave Stevenson says, to be fair, it's keeping it legit and there's some cheeky banter, then fair play, I'm subbing. Welcome to the channel, Dave. Isco isn't a warrior of a player, says Fion Curtin. George, I retract that. I love Ronaldo and I wasn't making death threats about him. I don't think he'll be playing for much longer. Can't wait for the interview with Mata, says Man United Max. Yeah, you can see that on the United stand on Thursday night. I've edited it. It looks really good. Spurs are playing 5 at the back. Play good football, says Active Dan. Champan Herbs is shouting out for Denmark. And Casemiro has no passing range. I do think that Casemiro, and I keep saying this time and time again, I do think that Casemiro and Modric and Kroos are the best midfield 3 in the world. They may not be the most glamorous, but I think the way they work together is absolutely fantastic. What do you think Who do you think is going to win the World Cup? Says Ryan Vlogs. Very, very quickly, I would go with Brazil. But I think it will come from Brazil, Germany, Spain, or France. Be one of them four. Mike Ashley is the bloke who owns Sports Direct and Newcastle at the moment, although he's trying to sell it. Jose Castro says the United Stand is the best channel on YouTube. Well, hopefully That's Football will become one of the best ones as well, because it's nice to be able to talk about the club. I watch a lot of football. I'm sure you do. Whoever you support, your loyalty to those clubs is 100% your priority, and mine is to Manchester United, obviously. But I do watch a lot of football, and I do enjoy interacting with fans. And it's nice to do a little bit of a new project and watch the games that I watch anyway, and interact with fans worldwide. And that's what we want to do on That's Football. So, yeah, do get involved. Sally Devil Red 7 Mitchell says, loving the show, Mark. Can Belgium win the World Cup? Says Arthur Ella. No, not with Roberto Martinez in charge. And Belgium went into the last World Cup with exactly the same, and the Euros with exactly the same. Fantastic squad, it's a fantastic set of players, but they just lack. I suppose they're a bit like Spurs in a way. Can Spurs win the Premier League? Well, they can, but they just seem to lack that winning habit, I suppose. And Martinez is no winner. Second half's about to kick off anyway. And that's a good point there from Chad. Was it Chad? No, it's Kofi. That's why I'm not so confident about France. I think France have got a really good squad. Of course, the second half's kicked off, time has gone on. France have got a very good squad as well, but France have also got an absolute clown in front in charge. So I'm a little bit not so confident of them either. Lanky Snake 942. How has this game turned out so far, Mark? It's a good game. I think if it was 2 or 3-0 to Real Madrid, the second half would be a bit of a damp squib. But the fact that Spurs got that goal, it wasn't against the run of play. Granted, I would agree that Real Madrid have been the better side, but Spurs have certainly created chances, and the fact that it's 1-1 at half time has it really interestingly poised. I'm loving it. I love the Champions League anyway. I'm sure all you do as well. I've always loved the Champions League. There's something magical about it, and it's like I say, it's great to be able to start doing these watch-alongs this year. I've obviously always done them on the United Stand for United, the club I support. But the other night of the Champions League, or last year, 2 nights of it, because United were in the Europa League, I'll always be watching Champions League football. I love the tournament. Real to win 3-2. Give us your score predictions on the second half then. Eon Mihail says it'll be 2-1 to Madrid. So we've had 2 people. Yeah, we are interviewing Mata Mono Caribou. That's on the United Stand channel. I presume. Well, you might not. You might just be a new subscriber to That's Football and you've never seen me anywhere before. But I am on a channel called the United Stand, which is a Manchester United channel. Daily content on there. I mean, it helps if you support United or you have an interest in United. But we do. The great thing about United Stand and what we want to replicate on here, and everybody who's part of the United Stand who's on here will back us up on this, is that yes, we're a United fan channel, but nobody's more critical than us about our club. And I think that's what everybody is about their club. When they love them so much that actually we are quite critical about things when it's not going well. So I think that's why we have a lot of people who watch the United Stand who aren't United fans as well, because we are all honest in our opinion. We're not really delusional. Well, some of us are on some things. I'm a big fan of Mourinho and Anthony Martial. I would never hear a word said bad against either of them. But get me on Fellaini, and it's open season. Stuart Hunt says England will be knocked out in the group stage of the World Cup. Oh, England aren't going to do anything. I'm English, but we're not. I mean, we might get out of the group, but England are a very poor national team. Harry Winks, I hope he can keep developing though, because there's always seems to be a young player that develops in the season before the World Cup for England. Years ago we had it with Owen, and we've had it with Rooney. So I'm hoping that he can develop, because England are really struggling in the midfield when you've got people like Jordan Henderson in your team and Livermore on the bench. So hopefully Winks can develop, because we do need some players like that. And obviously Eric Dyer plays. Cross comes in. Spurs using their height there. They get rid of it. But Real Madrid still on the attack. Isco, Kroos with the cross. They're queuing up. Benzema is rubbish. He is rubbish, isn't he? They were queuing up there and Benzema sort of did a defensive header. Really is rubbish. He is, isn't he? I mean, I don't know what Real Madrid fans think about Benzema. He's got a very good reputation, Benzema, in England. I mean, a lot of people always, you know, United fans, Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, City fans. Various times over the last sort of 5 years, Benzema's always linked. Oh yeah, I would love Benzema. He'd score loads of goals in the Premier League. But when you actually watch him, he misses a lot of chances, doesn't he? Started off the second half much like most of the first half. It's Real Madrid at the moment. Spurs haven't really got out of the half in this first 5 minutes of the second half, which I'm sure they will do at some point. But Real Madrid trying to... Avinash says that when City play Napoli away, that's going to expose them. I don't know. Ooh, Harry Kane's in here. Varane's going to have to work hard. Kane stands him up. And is it a corner? Yeah. They've got a corner, and Spurs will be happy with that. Hard work from Harry Kane. I tell you what, Harry Kane and Lukaku, I know they've both scored a lot of goals in the Premier League over the last few years, and I've sort of always said they're both a bit big game bottlers when the big games come along, especially Harry Kane for England. But this season, they both seem to... the Kane-Lukaku careers just seem to mirror each other all the time. And this year, I think both of them have sort of taken that step up as well. Harry Kane's been very impressive for Spurs in the Champions League this year. Eriksen with the cross. Cleared by Ronaldo. Defensive work, you see. Very good in the air. Good tackle. Harry Winks gives a foul. He's loving it. Doing very well. Danny Green says Madrid haven't been in the best form, to be fair. Lazar the Kid 4074 says, is Benzema an international player for France? I don't think he is. Durrani says that Benzema's better than Kane. Said nobody other than Durrani. And a really good comment there as well, which I think if you are somebody who's worried about City in the Premier League, I've been saying this for so long. It's Avinash again. He says Pochettino is showing how teams should approach an away game. Exactly. And I think also this approach against somebody like Man City would be very, very good as well. You've got to have your two banks of players and you've got to kill the space. Cross comes in. Benzema and Aurier, and I think they're giving a foul to PSG. Andrew Ellis says that Lukaku's terrible. I'd rather have Icardi. Icardi's a great player. I really was disappointed we couldn't do the Milan Watchalong on Sunday night. Actually, it was one I'd really highlighted, and I do watch Serie A. I like Serie A, and I couldn't watch the game because I had a family christening, and I definitely would have done it as a Watchalong. And here I was really gutted, to be honest, because I was gutted to miss it, but I really wanted to do it as well. So we'll hopefully get to do the return one. But there's some, Serie A is good. Serie A is good. No one's been sent off. Lazar the Kid. Cool Guy says, I'm 100% a United fan. Watched the United fan since 900 subscribers. It was a long time ago. PS4, you clearly haven't watched Benzema in the past. He was world class, but injuries ruined him. I don't think anybody said that Benzema wasn't a good striker. I think what we're saying is he's not very good now. As I just listened to the comment, I said for a number of years Benzema is a player that's been linked with the Premier League, with most of the top Premier League clubs, and everyone thinks he'd be a really great striker. But I don't think he is anymore. He misses a hell of a lot of chances. He's a grafter though. That's why Ronaldo loves playing with Benzema and didn't like playing with Morata, because Morata was a little bit more of a selfish striker, whereas Benzema is more than happy to put the work in and the assists for Ronaldo. They're queuing up in the box at the moment. Ramos is like playing up front like it's the last 5 minutes. And Benzema's just missed another chance. I mean, it looks like a world-class save, to be fair. But he's in the 6-yard box, right on his head. The keeper will take the credit, but realistically, Benzema's got to score that chance. He's virtually in the net himself. But they're turning the screw at the moment, Real Madrid. I'd love to see that chance back again. And Ronaldo wasn't offside there as well. He was in. Let's watch this back. Show us it again. So the cross comes in from the right this time. Oh no, they're showing the Ronaldo chance. Ronaldo was onside as well. But here we go. Cross comes in. Benzema. Oh, I'm not going to say it's a sitter. Missed, because the save is fantastic from Lloris with his feet. But anywhere else, and it's a goal. It goes down as a world-class save. And to be fair to Benzema, he should score, but it's unfortunate. Ronaldo from distance over the bar. But considering we've not even had 10 minutes of the second half, I think Spurs are in for a... They're going to have to try and do something, because it's only a matter of time before Real Madrid score. They've really gone up through the gears and Spurs aren't doing anything at the moment. Ryan Vlogs wants to be kept up to date on the other scores. So Liverpool have gone 5-0 up now. 2 for Coutinho. City are 2-0, obviously, as we know. Oh, my thing's reset. So 0-0 Dortmund still. That's a that, you know, if Dortmund were to draw tonight, no matter what Spurs do, that would be a massive positive for Spurs, because Dortmund need to get some points. They've got none at the moment. RP Leipzig, Porto is still 3-2. Spurs having a bit of possession here, which is good. Monaco and Besiktas are 1-1. Shakhtar Donetsk are beating Feyenoord 2-1. Spartak Moscow and Sevilla 1-1. This game 1-1. City 2-0 to Napoli. And obviously, as I said, Liverpool have just gone 5-0 up at in Maribor. Another corner for Spurs coming to nothing. We're all a bit clock watching. Well, maybe not. I know we've got a lot of Real Madrid fans in here as well. We have to remember them. But I'm more tentatively looking at that Real Madrid, the Dortmund game, because I think no matter what happens here, that would be... I think Spurs fans would be ecstatic no matter what happens here tonight if Dortmund don't win in Apoel Nicosia, because there's that expectation that Dortmund are going to take 6 points from their next 2 games against Apoel Nicosia. And if they don't take 3 points tonight, that's not going to happen. So that could be really, really interesting. Spurs having a little bit more possession here down the left at the moment. I've lost it. Spurs on the attack there. Let me come back to you all. I was on a bit of quiet there. I was having a bit of banter with a Liverpool mate on Twitter, so Twitter wars are ongoing. Just trying to come back with something. Talk man says torrential turbo. I am back. Spurs are actually it's quite reflective of the first half so far. Actually, first 10 minutes of the first half, Madrid looked like they were going to batter Spurs. Same things happened in this half, but Spurs have had a little bit of possession now for the last couple of minutes, and it's evened itself out a bit, which is good. So Real Madrid do tend to play in waves, although, as somebody said at half time, Real Madrid are there's got to be a foul against Eriksen there. I think he didn't want to give it the ref, but he has given it, and it's an opportunity to put a cross into the box. I'll tell you what, if Spurs could nick a goal now, it would make it very, very interesting going into the last few minutes. But yeah, Spurs are coming into the game a little bit more. They have zero options off the bench. They could get Son on, but it's tough for them without Dele Alli. But I think Spurs do lack depth anyway. What's my Twitter, says Torrential Turtle. I'm at Mark Goldbridge, but I was tweeting off United Stand MUFC if you want to see the Twitter war that's going on. He got loads of retweets for a really basic tweet. Mine's a good comeback. I always thought Maribor was in Portugal. They're actually Slovenian. I think Dorini agrees with me. He says, is Maribor even a football club? I thought it was some sort of beach or fun place to go. Maribor. I know what you're thinking about. Magaluf. See you, Bart Barker. Well done, George. That reminds me. I love Champions League. I love it. We'll do one every week for you. I mean, to be honest, we have spent a lot of time in this group because every week either Dortmund, Spurs or Real Madrid are playing each other. So it's always it's a really good group to do. But if Dortmund don't win tonight, we might have to look at one of the other groups. Oh, good running by Harry Winks, and then he lost it. But yeah, Harry Winks reminds me a lot of like sort of Jack Wilshere when he first burst onto the scene. Ronaldo, cracking save, Lloris. That is cracking. Lloris is he's been absolutely brilliant tonight. Good shot, Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo's been really good tonight, and he's aiming that at the top corner, and Lloris has done fantastic. As Darani says, what a save. Dylan Hogan says, close. Lloris says, real deal. Jazzed. And we've hit 500 likes. Let's smash 500 likes, says Zach. Thanks for that. Corner for Real Madrid. Here's the chance. Isco goes for the curl. Tried to be too clever, and Lloris has it. Zach. You're done. I've done you, Zach. And Theon Curtin, Jesus is better than Rashford. What do you think? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like them sort of comments. You know, it's a bit like saying Kane's better than Lukaku. If that's what you believe and you love all that, great. But as a Manchester United fan, I'm never going to say, oh, switch it, Harry Kane. Oh, why don't you play it along the ground? Sissoko's in here though. He's down the right. He's got to look for an intelligent cross. Harry Kane can't get it out his feet. Gives it to Eriksen. Oh, Eriksen's final ball's not been fantastic today, but they've still got the ball. Yeah, I'm not going to say Jesus is better than Rashford. I love Marcus Rashford. He's a young player that's come through the United youth system. He's English. He's 19. I think he can be a great player. I'm not saying Gabriel Jesus isn't a good player, but I'm not going to undermine a player from my own club. No way. Aurier, trying to put a cross in there. Spurs have had a little bit of the ball anyway. I feel that Real Madrid will nick it at some point, but Ronaldo. Oh, what a run by Ronaldo. Rolling back the years. Lloris makes a save. I tell you, Ronaldo's looked really good tonight. Oh, lovely bit of skill by Sissoko. Remember, spent a lot of money on him. He's looked all right tonight. Oh, it's stretching the game though, but Ronaldo's looked... I've not really seen Ronaldo like that for a while. Thanks for that, George. I was just about to do it myself. Dortmund is losing. I mean, this is, you know, whatever happens tonight, I think Spurs are going to battle on and try and get the result against Real Madrid, and it could be a famous result. But Dortmund losing to Apple Nicosia, that is Spurs qualification virtually done. Dortmund are going to have to really turn it around. If Dortmund lose, if Dortmund don't win in Cyprus, it's pretty much them done. Besiktas are winning, Dortmund are losing, says Drago List. Lloris has been fantastic, I totally agree. Sissoko is on fire today, says 87. You know what? I sort of purposely kept my thoughts back on that because... But you're right, he's been very good. And he gets a lot of stick for being a bit of a flop. Well, if you are a Spurs fan or you want Spurs to get through to the Champions League knockout stage, that goal in Apple Nicosia to make it 1-0 to them against Dortmund is absolutely huge. I think Spurs fans would have accepted losing tonight quite badly if they knew Dortmund were going to lose as well. A few people saying hello Madrid. So Detron GD says Lloris is amazing. That Sanchez lad who Spurs got from Ajax has played well as well. He's settled in nicely. Let's have a little bit of a roundup. I think Napoli are doing quite well in that game against City, but it's still 2-0. Gary Lineker causing a bit of controversy on Twitter. He says, is it me or is Benzema a tad overrated? A goal every other game in a team as strong as Real Madrid is nada especial. Decent, not great. Which to be fair, he is actually spot on about. I mean, if you're the number 9 for Real Madrid, you should be scoring more than a goal a game. A goal every other game because you expect to get a lot of chances. But Spartak Moscow are beating Sevilla 2-1, which in the context of the the Liverpool group is quite interesting because that would put Spartak Moscow right up in the mix. And we've got no other goals in any other games apart from that one. Dortmund losing 1-0 in Cyprus, which would be bloody massive. Well, time is ticking on. If any of you are on Twitter, by the way, I'm going to unashamedly just say, please go and retweet our last tweet on at United Stand MUFC, because we've taken a bit of a beating off somebody from a Liverpool content provider, which we've come back to, and it'd be nice to get quite a few retweets on ours. So if you have a Twitter account, please do, at United Stand MUFC. You don't have to be a United fan to do it, just be nice if you did it. Corner here for Real Madrid. Yes, I was right the first time. 2-0, 1-1. I'm just reading out scores. It's 1-1 here. And I think, you know what, I keep watching that Dortmund scoreline, because if they can't win there, that's huge for Spurs. But I really would like Spurs to get a result today, because I think Lloris has been so good, and defensively they've been very, very good as well. Banter, 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 banter. Oh, Spurs! Great chance, great chance. Harry Kane. You'll wonder how he hasn't scored there, but I tell you what, this audition from Harry Kane in the Bernabeu. Llorente puts him in. He's got to score, actually. He's got to... Well, I think he does score. I think it's just a fantastic save by the keeper. I'd love to get this angle before Harry Kane connects. Yeah, it's going in. It's a fantastic save. One-on-one, but a great save. Dortmund have scored 1-1. Oh, we're going to have a very interesting last 20 minutes, aren't we? The worst case scenario is Dortmund get a winner. And... oh, he's going to free kick against Spurs on the corner. Dortmund get a late winner and Real Madrid get a late winner, and all that hard work and hope for Spurs goes out. Chad, who writes your articles for the website? Not me at the moment, Chad. You can, if you're interested in writing for it, just there's a contact form on there, but it's not me. I don't have time. It's another penalty for Apoli. Lockrill, I'm not doing a United Stand video tonight. I wasn't planning on doing one anyway. I might do one on the walk to work tomorrow. But we've got the watch-along tomorrow, obviously. And I've done the preview for the Benfica game. Oh, that's late. Give me a yellow card, ref. Aurier fouled. Spurs will be quite happy about that. It's right down in the half. They can put a cross into the box. City defending poorly apparently, but it's still a penalty to Napoli, and it's 2-1. That'd be hilarious. But when teams get close to City, they tend to go up a gear, and I think they're going to bring Aguero on at some point. But cross comes in. If Spurs could get a goal now, it would be fantastic, because no matter what Real Madrid do, they probably would get a point. Oh, Eriksen's in. Oh, I think the keeper might have made another cracking save. Either that or is it the side netting? It's a corner. But Spurs in the last last 3 or 4 minutes have had 2 very good opportunities. Eriksen gets down the right here into the box, shoots at goal, and I think keeper might just get his hands on it. He does, because it's a corner. Good keeper, Navas, I think. Don't know what you think. Dylan Hogan, Navas is very underrated. Poor corner from Spurs. That it's a shame really, because they've got, that's where their strength lies, and secondary cross comes in and it's just wide from Sanchez. He was quite far out, but he got a good lot of power on it. But the minutes tick by, that's the thing. That's the main important thing. Jimmy Cricket, this was about the time the wheels came off for City last season, Mark. Well, they're at home to Burnley in the Premier League at the weekend, so the wheels aren't going to come off. Isaac Plays has subscribed to the channel. Yeah, remember, if you are new, subscribe, and if you already have subscribed, hit that share button and let's get as many people watching as possible and growing the channel. I think it's going to be, it's good. It started off really well, and as I said, we've done one Skype in show. We want to start making that more regular, and the next bit of content on this channel will probably be our Premier League preview show, which is every Thursday at 8:30 UK time. And I can tell you for sure that we'll definitely be doing a watch along for Spurs versus Liverpool on Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So that's definitely the next one. Put him in! Ah, oh, Ericsson, he's not offside. He's not offside. He wasn't offside. Look at Ramos clapping the linesman and going like that. He was not offside. I can see it here from England. He's not offside. He's nowhere near offside. That is shocking. The referee and the linesman, they've been really poor. Real Madrid don't need to cheat like that. And he was about a yard onside. Awful. As Chad said, how is that offside? Papinia has subscribed. It was a shocking decision, and it's a shame because I'm not going to say Spurs were going to score, but Ericsson was in a really good position. Darshan says he was offside. Mate, watch it back. He is so onside. It's not even borderline. I think Pochettino and Spurs deserve a lot of credit though. I mean, this is the best team in the world at the moment, Real Madrid, and they've played very well, Real Madrid. And you know, they maybe will feel that some of the chances they've missed, they should be winning this game, but Spurs have certainly created their own chances as well. And shot from Isco straight at Lloris. It's going to take something special or very unlucky to beat Lloris tonight. The City score is 2-1 as things stand. Napoli did score a penalty, and it is 2-1 at the moment. And Bernardo Silva's on for Sterling. A lot of yellow cards for Man City, which is surprising because I would have thought Man City would draw a lot of fouls, but no goal for Mertens. Diawara took the penalty. In the context of that group, Napoli-Man City might be an interesting game to do on the next round of Champions League games. I mean, Spurs-Real Madrid is the obvious one to do, but depending on the result tonight, it might, we'll see what it goes. But Napoli will be third in their group, and they will need to beat Manchester City unless they get a point. Man City will be more or less through. Ronaldo on the break. Spurs have got a lot of men back now. Marcelo lays it off for Cruz. I thought he might have hit that first time. They're on the edge of the box at the moment with Marcelo. Nice little dinky cross. And he leaves it. Oh no, he should have probably put it out for a corner. Still Real Madrid. Isco in the box. They're queuing up at the moment. Modric works the cross. Oh, and Spurs will clear. And they'll be happy to clear that. Thanks to the black kid from the block who's made a contribution through the super chat. Real Madrid and Barcelona always have the ref to help, says Champagne Herbs. It's a shame, but it's always the way. Ref's been shocking, so Spurs, I'd love them to get something out of this. Typical Savage has followed us on Twitter. We are at United Stand MUFC, or you can follow me at Mark Goldbridge if you like the more general football chat. Moscow 4-1 up. Danny Rose is coming on, which kills a lot of rumours, because a Spurs fan said to me last week that they don't think Danny Rose will ever play again for Spurs after his comments in the summer. But Fernando Llorente's come off. Interesting the way he played Llorente and Kane together today. And Danny Rose comes on looking like he hasn't been injured, but he's been living on the streets. He's got a big beard and big hair. I'd be very surprised if Danny Rose was somebody that Mourinho wanted, because Mourinho likes height and Danny Rose is very small. Who's your best defender in the world, Mark? Says Vinny. My best defender in the world? I really do like Varane. I've got to be honest with you. I do like Varane. I think he's got everything. There's a lot of good centre-backs. Italian centre-backs are obviously very good, but it's whether that, you know, I'm obviously brought up on English football and the Premier League, and I don't know that an Italian centre-back would be good in that league. So different people for different tasks, but I think Varane is the one that I think could pretty much play in all the top leagues. I like him a lot. Oh God, you got to take the ball. Kane didn't score, Jay Harrod. He nearly did, but the cross was from Aurier and it went in off Varane. Who's the best midfielder in the world? Says Fear Jerker. Paul Pogba. No, I do think Pogba's very good, but he needs to do better. Depends again, it's what you want, isn't it? Do you want an attacking midfielder? Do you want somebody who can just take the play, like a Modric? Eriksen's in down the right. Cross comes in, cleared by Varane. No, it wasn't Varane, it was Casemiro. I like Toni Kroos as well. Stephen O'Brien says, breaking news, Liverpool are now favourites to win the Champions League after beating Maribor 5-0. Barrett Bale is injured, of course. Summerjet, he didn't play in that massive game for Wales, did he, in the international break? And Wales went out, losing to Ireland with no Bale. And Real Madrid don't have Bale either. Drago Liz says he's got huge respect for Spurs and Pochettino. He's a good manager, Pochettino. Still 0-0 in the game between Apple Nicosia and Dortmund, which many Spurs fans will keep their eye on. But Real Madrid haven't really created anything in the last sort of 15 minutes, so you know what's going to happen, but they haven't. I'll be totally honest with you, they haven't. Eight minutes for Spurs to hold out and get a very good result in the Bernabeu. Marcello, decent cross. Spurs all clear. Isco into Marcello to Kroos. Is it not? No, it's not Kroos. Oh, good defensive header that by, is it Alderweireld? Ronaldo was coming in behind him. And he's even earned a goal kick as well. watch this as it comes in. Stephen O'Brien, do I think Zidane is one of the best managers in the world? He's won back-to-back Champions League, so you know, you couldn't argue that he's not. But I must say, the resources he has at Real Madrid always make me think, well, when you walk into a Real Madrid job with everything that he's got there, you know, failure at Real Madrid is basically not winning the Champions League and not winning the league. So when you win it, is it really surprising with the sort of resources that you've got? We're never going to see Zidane do what Mourinho did at Porto and win a Champions League and work his way up to the biggest clubs in the world. It's a bit like Pep Guardiola, isn't it? He's always had it on a plate. He's always had a lot of money in a big club until he went to Man City when he just had a lot of money. And Zidane's a bit like that. They get called great managers, but they've never had to rough it out. They've never had to tough it out. You know, you think about Sir Alex Ferguson started in the low... you know, with Aberdeen really, and did the old firm. So Zidane's a good manager, but I don't think he deserves to be called a great manager just because his first job's been Real Madrid and he's been successful with the players and the money he has. Real Madrid hunting out a winner here. 5 minutes to go. Modric doesn't beat the first man with the cross. It's 6-0 to Liverpool. Best goalkeeper in the world is De Gea for me. I know a lot of people think Neuer. Even Schmeichel said Neuer, but for me it's De Gea. Imagine if Spurs nicked one on the break here. I mean, Real Madrid do need to be careful about that. They can't really overcommit too much. Corey JT, it's an intense last 5 minutes here. Vasquez comes on for Isco. Of course, Bayern Munich Celtic tomorrow night. There's some good games. That's the disappointing thing, is on That's Football. It would be nice to do one of the other games tomorrow night, but obviously I'm a United fan, so I'll be watching United and doing it on the United stand. But there's some good games. Bayern Munich PSG was a cracker, wasn't it? What I would say about Zidane, though, is the way he sort of ignored the Galactico approach, because I think that midfield three of Casemiro and Kroos and Modric is a brilliant midfield three, but actually he could have somebody in that midfield three who's, you know, more of a Galactico midfielder, and he hasn't. He's got three real good, top class, arguably world class midfielders who are grafters and do their job really, really well. They're very hard to get on top of as a three. So I like what Zidane's done there, and what Zidane's also done with Real Madrid and why they've won 2 Champions Leagues is, I mean, I remember watching the final against Juventus back in May, and Juventus, for the first half, it was quite an equal game. But the impressive thing about Real Madrid is the way they were willing to battle and graft it out, and that's not always been evident at Real Madrid in their Galactico past. And you know, he has implemented that hard work ethic as well. Spurs have got a player down at the moment, which they really could do without. I think it's Sissoko. It is. Five minutes remaining. Looks like City are going to get a win. 7 for Liverpool against Maribor. Trent Alexander, Oxlade-Chamberlain scored as well. Do do do. Probably going to be quite a few minutes of stoppage time in this game. Cross comes in the box. Marcello. Corner ball. Time to shut up shop. Time to shut up shop. Not long left. Thanks to everyone who's joined us tonight. If you have enjoyed it, great. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. Very new channel, That's Football. We do want to grow it. We want to get more and more people involved. We're going to have Skype shows and everything like that. So do get involved. Spread the word, because everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter what club you support, whether it's Premier League, Championship, Spanish, French, whatever. Get involved. Everybody's opinion counts, and we've had some really good varied opinion tonight, and I look forward to doing some Skype shows and getting you on and getting that varied opinion even more. So thanks everybody for that. Make sure you subscribe to it, and I think it's going to be a really, we've been pretty fortunate in the Champions League game so far. I think everyone we've picked has been a really good game. We started off with Dortmund Spurs at Wembley, which was great. Then we did Real Madrid Dortmund, which was a good game as well in Dortmund, and then this one's been very intriguing. I know we've been very one group centric at the moment, but that will change as we, you know, I'm not opposed to going to any group that's interesting. And the reality is, if Dortmund don't get a winner against Apple Nicosia, then that really, for Spurs, would be massive, because they would have 7 points. Dortmund have 1 point, 3 games played, 6 points clear. Would be huge for Spurs. And the ball is up at well, it's on the centre circle now, but it was up with Spurs attack, so that's only 3 minutes added on. There's only 1 minute left, and Varane clears, and Madrid are going to have to go some to get something out of this. Well, they're going to get a point, but be a great point for Spurs, and I think they're going to get it because they've got a foul and there's only 45 seconds left. And again, I think Pochettino, Harry Kane and Spurs in general on the world stage have done absolutely fantastic for themselves and really enhanced their reputation. You know, talking from a United perspective, there was a lot of negativity about the way Mourinho and Manchester United approached the Liverpool game at the weekend, and I think this from Spurs is the perfect example of how you do defend against a home side, but also attack as well. Spurs might be in here if he gets it out his feet. Ref's probably going to blow the whistle, but Varane winning a header there with Kane. Harry Winks has played very well, let's not forget, in the Bernabeu. He's not, has he blown up yet? No. Yeah, everyone's hugging. So 1-1 for Spurs, absolutely fantastic result for them, really, really was, and thoroughly deserved as well. Thoroughly deserved. They really worked hard, and very, very pleased for them. And yeah, great. We said it right at the start of the night, didn't we? Premier League against La Liga. Let's not forget about that. Lloris man of the match, 100%, says Real Deal Jazzard, which is great. And great point for Spurs, says Sally Devil Red. Yes, says Nathan Spurs 82. Good that we've got some Spurs fans on. Don't know how the Real Madrid fans are feeling. And Real will beat Spurs at Wembley, says George Kyle. It probably won't matter, George. It probably won't matter because the point's massive for Spurs, but even more massive in many ways is the fact that Dortmund and Apol Nicosia are 1-1, and unless Dortmund get a late winner there, that is huge for Spurs. It's like winning in the Bernabeu because the points that they would have thought Dortmund were going to get, it doesn't look like they're going to get. We'll wait. We'll wait. Because it's not necessarily over yet. Ziggy Go says, come on you Spurs. Lloris or Ericsson, man of the match, says Darth Vader. Fantastic point for Spurs, says Jay Krishna. Shout out please, says RPT. Jimmy Cricket, are you doing a United Stand show tonight? I wasn't going to, but I think I'm going to do one at 10:30, just because a lot of you have said please do one, and I do listen to you, so I probably will do a United Stand show tonight about Manchester United on the United Stand at 8:30. I'll probably go and set that stream up now. But it's 1-1 with Dortmund full time. Absolutely massive, massive result that is. And Manchester City looks like they have won as well. But Mertens missed the penalty. But that is massive, massive for Spurs. The point's brilliant. But the fact that Dortmund have drawn, it's pretty much Madrid and Dortmund going through now. Sorry, Madrid and Spurs going through now. Which is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant for Liverpool. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching tonight. Really enjoyed it. That's Football's a nice little break. We nearly hit 18,700 subscribers actually. We're only 12 short. So make sure if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button. The next definite content on That's Football will be Thursday night, 8:30 UK time with the Premier League preview. Join us for that. The next watch along, unless there's some game I've missed, will probably be, well, it will be Sunday, Liverpool versus Spurs, or Spurs versus Liverpool at Wembley in the Premier League. We may well have another game before that, but that's the one that jumps to mind. So thanks everyone for watching, and I shall speak to you all soon. Really enjoyed it. Nice to sit and watch a game of football with all of you lot. So speak to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll speak to you later.